Mace Hammertime. Mace Hammertime. Mace Hammertime. The Mace Hammertime MMA Power Hour Show.
Welcome to the Mace Hammertime MMA Power Hour. Introducing your host, a man who needs no introduction, the living legend. He's a fighter, action star, male model, part-time baker, and sweet love maker. His victories too vast to count, his defeats stand at zero. He's the one, the only, the deadliest man in the known universe, Mace Hammertime. With your co-host, expert in training, Ronnie J. And the all-knowing, all-seeing Deuce Almighty. So strap in and get ready for the greatest show in combat sports, the Mace Hammertime MMA Power Hour.
Aloha, everybody.
Everybody.
What up? We are freestyling over here today. We got Ronnie J over here.
What's up?
He is considering a hip hop career after his fighting career. It's all part of the branding. I love it. He's looking good. Let's
Feeling good.
look good, feel good, play good, pay good, pay good, live good, die good. That's the Mace Hammertime way, folks.
Come on now.
This is the Mace Hammertime MMA Power Hour Show. This is episode 26. We're here at the Beach Villa, back at it again with the experts. Deuce Almighty holding it down on the production for us.
Deuce Almighty.
Now, I don't know if you noticed up there, official logo now floating.
Yes.
Yep. So, and we're sprucing up this podcast every single week, bringing the production value up. Tuffy 5K is somewhere around. We're all hitting the cataract medicine. He's more straight edge than that. Anyway, so today we got a lot to talk about. All right. Mainly, we're going to be focusing on UFC 280 coming up. We are going to be at the G6 flying over to Abu Dhabi coming up this week. So when you're watching the pay-per-view, make sure you're looking out for us in the crowd because we'll be there.
Make sure you do that. We will be there.
We will be there. We're going to be so close. The sweat's going to be hitting us. Now, it's going to be a great card. Now, before we get into the UFC stuff, though, we have some other things we need to talk about. First off, Deuce Almighty, you're fighting coming up.
Oh, I am fighting. Yes.
Very soon.
I'm fighting next Saturday. We did some Shark Tanks last night and last week, so feeling like extremely prepared and ready to knock some people out.
And you're gonna have two fights. You have two fights next weekend.
Yeah, 2 fights next weekend. And then
what kind of gold you bringing home next weekend?
It's a Glory K1 belt.
Now that is an impressive little moniker there. Good for you.
Yeah, it's my first time doing this rule set, I think.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Other than maybe my first fight.
And can you explain to them a little bit what this means? So you're it's modified Muay Thai. Is that what it is?
Oh no, so K1 and Glory rules are just strictly kickboxing, so just punches, knees, kicks, and there's like a 3-second clinch, I think. So if you do get in the clinch, you kind of like a boxer's clinch, you get in and out.
But there's no elbows.
No elbows
Or knees.
You can throw knees.
Okay, good.
Yeah, but there's no elbows, and this is one of my first fights. No elbows.
I guess that's one weapon that you can make do without in that case. But and then the fight after that, what kind of gold you bringing home from that one then?
That one is a King in the Ring tournament in South Carolina, so you'll get a crown and you'll get a belt as well.
What rule
that's the
set
Southeast K1 Championship.
It's K1 rules.
Yeah, and if you I'd hit me up on Instagram, Deuce Almighty, and check out my bio and go get your tickets to watch that fight.
And listen, get on the Deuce hype train early because once it's rolling, you're going to be missing out. Once we're all the way sitting ringside and watching them fight in the UFC, various other promotions in the world, it'll be too late. So good luck to you on those. I think more or less good luck to your opponents because you train very hard. You're ready. You're ready.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You're ready. This is a time where you're going to start to see Deuce really no more playing around.
Exactly.
No more playing around. And then Ronnie J, you're going to be coming back at us next year. You got to fight. Is that where you're going to fight again?
Yes.
Next year. So Ronnie J's nursing some wounds, getting back in action. But what do we got going on here this week? We got one championship. Now, before we get into one, what was the situation we were talking about with the managers there?
Goodness. So
Man.
6 fighters from one championship got their contract like fucking killed.
How many title holders again?
It was 3, I think 2 former title holders and 1 current title holder, if I'm not mistaken.
God.
So like they lost 6 fighters, including like 3 champions, and fucking so like they lost Savas Michael, they lost Petch Morakot.
They lost them. They're no
Dam.
longer part of one.
No longer a part of one.
They're going to be fighting in UFC soon. Then,
if they know how to shoot a fucking double, maybe.
Hey, they don't have to. Dana will just set them up with someone who's like.
Are these strictly kickboxers?
They're Muay Thai fighters.
Oh,
yeah,
they're
Muay Thai fighters.
Gotcha.
All of them, all
Yeah,
6.
yeah.
Okay, so they definitely that sucks for them because one is like
is the fucking NBA for
it's probably how
Muay
you get, it's
Thai.
probably where you get paid the most
for sure.
ultimately
So
because UFC doesn't do any Muay Thai or anything like
Unless
that.
they do a little extra betting at Lumpini.
yeah, and Ron, you know like a little bit more about this as well, right?
Yeah, their manager Boat. I don't know his first name. I only remembered his last name because it's Boat. But
Shout out Yachty.
that's his name, Boat. But yeah, he was just he did a whole thread on Twitter about it. He was really upset about it. He was basically saying that Chatri was doing them like dirty, and then he was
And Chachu's the owner of one, right?
yeah.
Oh,
Or the president, yes. So he's Dana White.
Jeez, yeah. I guess you know what it's when
He
you
might be more ruthless though.
You think so?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, I don't think Dana White's that ruthless. Actually,
Me neither. I just think he like I don't know.
I think his
I
job.
don't like.
He's
presidents
calculating.
and-
He's cold calculating.
I think he's pretty smart. He pretty much plays neutral all the time. He doesn't really take any
Yeah.
sides. He's more. I mean, he sticks to his guns with the but he sticks to his guns, and he's really good about keeping secrets.
Nah, but yeah, Chatri, he's just ruthless. That motherfucker.
Yeah, Dana White's good about
he
like
doesn't
saying.
care.
Dana White's good at saying like, "Oh, we're not going to do this," but they end up doing it. But he just says that because he's good. He's good. He controls the narrative of the UFC very well.
for sure.
Yeah.
Very good.
So,
So then how's-
yeah.
So
my bad, but
no good.
Nah,
So-
you good? But yeah, Boat was like he was talking about how like when his like you said he had 3 active champions. Yeah.
like 2, I think 2 or 1 were active, but 3 that were champions and 1 in the last year.
Yeah, so during their championship reign, the challenger was getting like more promotion, more sponsorship. He was getting flown out, whereas they had to pay for their flight. And this like kept happening several times. Like Boat kept talking about like
The champions aren't getting their championship fucking respect.
yeah, they and also Savas Michael, he got his opponent changed
Yo,
out the
we
last
actually
second.
we talked about this when
When it happened,
Tang-
yeah.
Rod Tang was supposed to fight Savas Michael, who's one of the fighters from
Oh
Petchindy.
yeah.
And literally I think during the weigh-in, he was overweight and then didn't want to
Yeah, he said
didn't
nah.
want to cut the rest of the weight. I think it was like a pound or 2. It wasn't nothing.
He's like, I'm
crazy.
good.
Yeah.
And he literally just said, I'm good.
He was like,
And
I'm not gonna cut
yeah, he
this
says
weight.
I'm not gonna cut the weight.
And they
And
cancel the fight.
yo, no, like they put a fucking different guy in there. It's completely different, taller, southpaw, and he knocked Savas Michael right the fuck out.
pancake them, bro.
Like knocked
There's
him right
so
out.
you know what it is. There's so much that goes into like these people know each other on a personal level. Now I'm good friends with Dana, Sean, all the guys over at the UFC. I'm not super good friends or know anybody over at one yet, but they need to know me and us.
reach out.
All right,
Come
reach
on,
out
guys.
to us if you
Get
want
your
to.
money
I
up.
mean, we're out here fucking preaching for one all the time. Where's the love back, huh? If they want to see us sitting front row, they want to put one on the map. You need to talk to us. Regardless,
Period.
you know how it is. I mean, obviously, we follow the UFC fairly, closely, and being the insider's insider, you know that Ali Abdelaziz is not super liked with Dana White. What are managers anyway?
Yo, I don't fucking
What are
know.
What does Ali Abdelaziz do?
No one knows your worth more than you do. Represent yourself.
Well, the truth. I mean, I think it's. Listen, in entertainment, it's nice to have somebody do that dirty work for you, but deep down inside, what does he really do?
Exactly. Like,
What
what
is
is
he-
this is MMA? This is a
Is he even booking the hotels or anything like that? What does he even do? He just talks. He
Yeah,
runs their Twitter
facts.
He runs their Twitter files and stuff. So you get these people involved. Now,
How the fuck do you get to be a manager?
here's the thing about management. Now, in anything, managers are usually talentless people with a lot of personality.
Mm.
That's what their personality is like. A lot of fighters, a lot of artists, a lot of people get represented by managers. a manager is somebody who just sees somebody else's talent and realizes they can
Do something.
do something with it. Now, sometimes they are necessary evil, and a lot of fighters aren't the smartest guys. A lot of fighters don't want to deal with stuff like that. But in the end, like, I think that how about this? These managers are way too famous for what they actually do.
Yes.
That's what it comes down to. It's like, what are you good at? What is Ali Abdelaziz good at? Negotiating a contract? He doesn't negotiate any fucking contracts. The UFC sends them what they send them. They either take it or they don't. There's not even negotiation. And in fact, I think it was Josh Thompson or something like that on one of the podcasts was talking about how they don't really have a choice. Like, you'd say either yes or no.
Yeah.
They send you the things, it's either yes or no, and that's really pretty much how it goes. So the managers in the UFC especially are useless. But I'm not hating on that job. I'd take that job all day if I didn't have a spine. But guys like Ali, they need to make money somehow.
I genuinely it scares me that people have managers and we all see them. Like, we all see that these people are fucking weird.
But
they don't. And they're right in front of their face. It's like looking at a painting too close.
Well, I'd love to know what they do, because it seems like Rivzin or the guys who works for Habib, who actually works for him, like their guy, he seems to be the one who's doing all the work for them.
Yeah.
And Ali's just like, he runs, what is it called? The Impact or whatever, they're like domination MMA. That's the
Dominion
thing. Dominance.
Yeah, dominance management or some shit.
Yeah, so I don't understand like why does Habib have that guy, but then they also have the other Dagestani, their brother guy that is always with them. The one that
actually manages.
The one that was taking punches in the ring after the Colin McClellan incident. So that guy, like, who's the manager? Like, I don't get it. I don't get what the deal is. Why Ali Abdelaziz even exists, except for handling people's social media accounts. And if that's your job, you're really just a digital marketer.
Yeah, I do that. So I'm a manager. I know I'm a social media manager, but I
Sure.
can just take the first part off.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
if you athletic and talented, hit me up so I can make money off of you.
Real.
It happens.
10% at least.
It happens.
It
happens in all sports, and I think representation is important. I just don't understand the representation as much in the UFC, considering they do not get to negotiate their contracts, apparently, from what I heard. So, anyway, so this might be back to the one championship. These managers and people get involved. There's lots of money involved, and these are personal relationships you have. This isn't like this guy Boat is probably knows. These guys know each other.
Yeah.
And so it becomes personal. You've seen it happen in the UFC all the time. I mean, Ariel Helwani's is Ariel Helwani still banned?
I ain't seen Ariel at a UFC event.
He's banned. This becomes like a personal thing. So it's a small community, honestly, if you really think about it. And if you burn a bridge in one thing, it's not hard to do it in any place else. Anyway, so what do we got? What's this weekend's fight card looking like?
So one championship has 2 fight cards this weekend.
Jeez, they're busy.
No, it's fucking crazy. So the first one is on Prime Video. It's called One on Prime Video 3. And that is October 21st at 8 p.m. So that's what, Friday at
night
8 p.m. So yeah, they do like a lot of back to back.
We'll be in Abu Dhabi.
Facts.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
8 p.m. will be that card. There's going to be some jiu-jitsu, there's going to be some Muay Thai, and there's going to be some MMA on that card as well. So you'll get to see all of the fucking martial arts in one go. And then the next day, there's a huge event, which is a lot of more kickboxing matches. And that is Saturday morning. Starting, I think, starts at 1 p.m. So it starts like an hour before the main card for UFC. If you have 2 TVs, throw both of them up there. If you can't afford, or you can't illegal stream the UFC one, you have Amazon Prime, just throw up this one card and you'll get a lot of good insight on something.
Who the fuck doesn't
got
who
2
the fuck,
TVs?
Who the fuck doesn't have Amazon Prime at this point?
Facts.
Come on. I mean, they're running the world. I know Jeff pretty well. He's a terrible human. Now let's go. Let's go into
from the horse's mouth,
UFC
I guess.
UFC 2. Well, hang on. You know what? Shout out to Life of a Fighter. Now we are going to try something, Mir, if we can get it going. Coach Mike from Life of a Fighter is expecting us now. He gave me a link back. I'm not sure. We're going to try something new here. We're going to give it a shot, folks, and see if this works. Now, All things considered, it may not. We're trying to get Coach Mike on here. Lifeofafighter@gmail.com. He said that's the link thing. I'm not sure how this all works, but if we can get him on here. Oh, you know what? I think go ahead and send him a link to this one though. Send him a link to the email I just sent you, and so we'll get him on here. Lifeofafighter@gmail.com. And we'll see if we get Coach Mike on here. Until then, we can bullshit about the UFC event coming up, and wait for him to see if we can figure out this technical if we can come over this technical hurdle here. We're going to be having all the greats on the show. Every UFC personality will be on this show. It's all only going to take us figuring out how to run this incredibly difficult program. We're getting stuff from NASA here. That's how we're able to do this.
Yeah, it's
space age technology.
Works.
And we're going to be out in the desert this coming up weekend. And I don't know if I ever told you guys, and while we're trying to wait for Coach Mike here, a little bit about my experience in the desert one time. But I was out there one time. I used to be an archaeologist, and I actually searched for the Ark of the Covenant. I don't know if you guys know about that.
Yeah.
I was doing like some undercover stuff. I got stuck in a snake pit, which was nuts. There's like some bad Germans out there. And then we found the Covenant. I'm not even joking. We found it, but you had to close your eyes. Nobody knew this. Everybody else died except for me. Long story short, the CIA comes in. All the people come in. They take it. I've never seen the Ark yet since, but I've had a bunch of other adventures out there. Been to.
Was there one involving a crystal skull?
So yeah, funny you mentioned that. That was a little bit later though. That was
I
a little bit.
so.
Yeah, that happened another time.
I seen it. I saw that.
But anyway, I'm pretty experienced in the desert, so you guys will be quite comfortable out there. I know my way around out there. So,
does the lightweight division have a champion? And is their name?
The champ
Charles
has
Oliveira?
a name.
The champ there is no champ. Well, let's never forget that Khabib is always the champ.
The champ,
the greatest of all time at 155. But I think this weekend is where we're going to see a new champion crowned. Let's start rocking this card here, because how far? See if Coach can respond to this here. We got to get Coach Mike on here because he is a legend in the fight game. But let's start running through like the lower end of the card here and see what we got going on. Some of the early prelims, anything that catches our attention on here, because it is pretty stacked up. I think even Bilal, I forgot his last name. What's his last name?
Muhammad.
Bilal. That's right. Bilal forgot his last name. So he's going to be fighting apparently, and I can't wait to see how he's improved. But on the prelims, what do we got going on? Anything interesting there?
Kyle Barral is fighting Mahmoud Muradov. So this is going to be a nice fight. Kyle Barral, is he Brazilian? Yes.
He's going to lose.
Nah, bro.
He's
on a
the
win
natural,
streak.
bro.
Listen, I'm
two-fight win streak.
I know, but I'm just so like I love the Brazilian fighters, but I've just I feel like maybe maybe this weekend the Brazilians will win me back. Maybe they'll win me back. I used to always bet on the Brazilians. Now, not every time.
That just means the game's evolving everywhere else.
Now I'm into I always bet on guys that come from countries that end with Stan. So Dagestan, Kazakhstan, whatever Stan country, I'm going to put my money on them.
Kazakhstan.
But even that's kind of getting saturated now. So this is one of these cards that's going to have a lot of Stan guys on it. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to vote on them all.
One thing I'm extremely pissed about this card.
What's that?
Is that there was on the main card. It was Askarov.
It got canceled.
Yeah, okay. Let's talk about that shit.
Who was Askar fighting?
Askar, he was fighting Pantoja.
Yeah, Askarov and
they got
Alexander Pantoja.
Yeah.
That was on the main card?
Yeah, that was some bullshit.
Oh,
Pantoja didn't want to make, not Pantoja, it's not on him. Askar didn't want to make weight.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
What do you mean didn't want to make weight?
He didn't want to make weight.
Well, was it a late addition?
I guess so. I don't know.
I don't get it. Like, isn't his job to make weight, to fight?
Yeah, but
he wasn't supposed to fight.
Roy Val. I'm
supposed
tripping.
to fight Brandon.
That's what we talked about. We had talked about it last week on last week's show. So yes, I remember that. And you guys were all hyped on him. No, you picked Roy Val to win, but Askarov didn't want to fight, huh?
Nah, yeah, Askar,
Yeah, he backed out.
Askar missed weight and didn't want to make
He
weight.
didn't want none of it.
Yo,
either.
I'm having like I'm really getting kind of over these Dagestani dudes a little bit.
Oh, hey,
they're always
I
too
think
heavy.
Coach is in there. I think we can bring him on now. He said he's waiting.
Let's get
Okay.
it.
Hell yeah!
There's
What's
Coach.
up?
Cheers,
Oh
y'all.
my
He
God.
knows what's up.
I'm
Good
That's
freaking
morning,
a
out.
high
Coach
quality
Mike.
camera, brother.
You got? I think we hear him here.
I can hear
Coach
can
Mike,
you
we
hear
hear
me
you. Oh, there he is, Coach Mike.
Yeah.
Welcome
Yeah,
to the
y'all.
Mace Hammertime MMA Power Hour show.
So
We're doing it again, Coach. We're glad to have you. You're actually our first official guest on the show. Welcome aboard. And what do you got going on this morning?
Dude, I got all the stuff going on this morning. I'm just excited to be here. This is the most exciting part of my morning. All the other stuff, like, that's the day-to-day stuff. I
Have
get
that
to hang
effect on people.
for real.
Yeah. We're like rays of sunshine.
That's
So
it, bro.
We're really talking about UFC 280, and I'm not sure how much you know about what's coming up this weekend. I know you're pretty much insider as well. You're rubbing elbows with all the big wigs over there, even the little wigs like Dominic Cruz. So yeah, let's talk UFC 280 and kind of run through this. If you want to drop your expert knowledge in on here, we'd be happy to hear it because you are a pretty smart guy.
I just like to pretend to be, and then eventually it just like rubs off. You know what I mean?
Well, again, I have that effect on people. I did go to brain surgery school. I've actually walked around the Harvard campus, and it's kind of osmosis through learning there. I didn't really have to go to school before I learned everything. It's just like that's how I do it.
Is that how that works?
Well, I'm kind of like, I'm like in the Matrix when they program the brain like that with the programs. I can do that just by being around people that are smart. I just can inherit the knowledge. Let's see here. So, hey, first off, before we talk about UFC 280, let's just shout out. Let's talk about Life of Fighter. What are you all about, real quick? Why are we interested in you?
Yeah. Can I share with you guys? Can I do a little screen share to give you a reason why?
If that could, yeah, let's do that. If this all works out, I'm loving this. Look at us. We're
Sure,
diving deep into talk. We're
Yes,
a legitimate
sir.
show. Have you seen? Did you notice up on the top corner our logo?
What?
The
No, I
logo's up
didn't.
there. Yeah, look at that.
Ooh,
I'm pointing to
what's
it.
up, logo?
That's fancy.
So on the back end, Mr. Almighty, you're gonna, yeah, exactly. You already know.
Oh, look at this.
So
look at
see this
this.
right here, LOF $2,000 giveaway. I'm giving away $2,000 out of my own pocket to our audience. So when you guys click on that link in the link tree, and I'm sure we'll have that link below in the description. You guys just put your name, your email in, bam, you're going to hit enter, and then you're just going to follow us on Amazon to officially qualify, and then we're going to pick one lucky winner to win $2,000. Now, I'll give you a bonus, too. If you guys just want to chat with me for free, go to Transform Your Health. You're going to fill out our little application form right here. Bada bing, bada boom. Takes less than 5 minutes. You're going to get on a free phone call with me, but all this comes from our link tree, which you'll see here below. I'll stop screen sharing. That was my quick little plug. I appreciate you guys letting me do that. And here's like, I don't know if you guys knew this. This is just me. Like, this is the Mace Hammertime effect of just like rubbing off and I just get excited. I used to sponsor the UFC back in the day. Do you guys know this?
Yes.
You know, Life of a Fighter was a sponsor of the UFC.
I do know that.
So it was
I
only
love
$500. I paid the UFC
$500.
$500 to sponsor them for it was their UFC Fan Expo back in like 2011, I want to say, or 12. $500. Isn't that
Times
crazy?
have changed. Times have changed for sure.
Big time, bro. It's like you got to give them 50 grand just to talk to them.
Oh yeah, well you know
wild.
me, so it's not that big of a deal. We'll get in there.
Right. You
Yeah,
you just take that out of the villa in the backyard and you're fine.
Well, it's just like, yeah, no big deal. And also, listen, I'll talk to Dana. He knows better. He knows better than to cross me. Okay, so
all right, gang, let's get into
let's
this.
get into this card coming up
into
here.
This card. So UFC 280 is in Abu Dhabi.
Mm.
Let's start on to the main card. Caitlin Chukagian versus Manon Floro.
So yeah, Caitlin Chukagian, she's on a win streak of 5 fights, I think. She lost to Amanda Nunes her last loss, I believe, and she's been beating up women for the past couple of years, getting back in action. So I think she's a good fighter.
Her last loss was to Jessica Andrade, and that was in 2020. But she's honestly been winning fucking
everything else.
every fucking thing. For a long time. Last time she lost prior to that was 2018.
She
So
beat Jessica.
Damn.
yeah, so Caitlyn,
And she's flyweight. Sorry, I was thinking about the wrong weight class. She's a flyweight.
yes. And then
125
Manon
pounds.
Florence, she's 9-1. All right.
Oh, she's a French girl.
yes.
Yeah, oui.
But she's 3-0 in the UFC. She has a lot of canceled bouts, 3 canceled bouts. Who do we got?
Was she a striker?
Yeah, she is a striker, and she's fucking.
She looks like she
nasty.
doesn't like wrestling.
She is nasty.
I think that I'm gonna go with Chikugian. To be honest with you, I think she's too seasoned. But this is also one of these fights where they're trying to. Again, we always talk about these. They usually start the main card off on these fights with a fight like this, where there's a pretty high end veteran, maybe make or break for her, and then they put him up against up against a young up and comer, who this is big deal for both people here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is to start it off as well, to start off the main card.
I can't wait.
Caitlyn's 33, Mannon's 20. Caitlyn's 5'8", Mannon's 5'6".
Oh, so she's not even very much. She's not a young fighter though. She just hasn't been in the UFC.
No, just hasn't been in the UFC. 10 fights,
Interesting.
1 loss. I'm excited for this one actually. I'm really excited.
I am too. We'll see how this one goes because Chikugian's there. She's there to fight. She is down to fight anytime. So I'm excited to see that. It'll be great.
So wait, can I throw something at you guys real quick? I want to hear your
sure.
thoughts. So I think this is a non-measurable aspect to it. And I don't know how long the flight is from France to Abu Dhabi, but I would speculate it's shorter than the US. And I wonder how long are they going to be traveling out? Meaning, how long do they get there ahead of time? Because believe it or not, like the time zone, travel, all those things come into play, especially when you're an older fighter, even though she's, again, got over 20 fights. I worry, honestly, if you look at her percentage of wins, I think like 80% by decision. I don't know, man. That's going to take a toll on you, your cardio, the impact on your body. And
well, you're definitely right. You're definitely right. They flew, but they don't fly over there on a fucking rickety old piece of shit plane. They're flying over in those dope ass like something that we'd fly over in. But you're right. That and I did watch. Listen, we get all our information fight week from Embedded. All right. I know Caitlyn Chikugian. She just got over there on this week, and I watched Embedded. So she didn't. There wasn't an acclimation period. Now, the French girl, I have no idea. She's probably still in Paris eating croissants because it's probably a short flight over. I'm not sure if I'm not sure if it's going to affect Chikugian, but what time relative to where Chikugian's from are they fighting? They're fighting at 2 p.m, which is 8 o'clock. It's not that big of a deal, actually, if you really think about it. They're not fighting at some weird time like in Singapore where she's fighting at like
8 a.m.
8 a.m. instead of. That's when it gets really
not.
weird. She's technically fighting in the afternoon in where she's from New Jersey or something like that. So it shouldn't be too bad.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't be too bad.
I'm not gonna lie. When I go like to the West Coast, bro, and like say you take a night flight. So you go over at midnight and then like you land in Vegas or whatever, and it's like fucking 9 o'clock. That night's shot. That next day is damn near half shot.
Done, yeah.
So I kind of see both sides. Caitlyn's a dog though. She hits really fucking hard, and people don't like that.
They don't. She's down. Well, one time, like when it comes to like jet lag and things, one time I had to fight 3 guys in the outback in Australia, and I flew all the way from Alaska to get there, and it was like 78 hours to get there, and I didn't sleep the whole time. Got drunk 17 times on the plane, ended up there, beat the guys up. That was a done deal. So jet lag's the thing, but I don't think it's going to affect Chikugian too bad. All right, so what else do we got here?
Benil Dariush versus Mace Hammertime.
Oh
jeez.
This is gonna be an
Juice
amazing fight.
Yes. This is gonna be a great fight. And I give Benil Dariush a hard time because he's about as exciting as a librarian. But he is a really good fighter in general, all around, handles his business everywhere. He can handle himself. He had that fight with who was it? Jakar Klosa or whatever. Jakar.
Yeah.
That Jakar had him on skates. And then Benil came
Spinning
back.
back fist.
Benil came back and was he's a tough guy.
For real.
He's a tough guy. I don't know where he sits as far as the rankings goes. What is he, number 5?
He's definitely I know he's top 10 for sure.
He's a good fighter. I mean, like, and that's why he was mad they had Volkanovski as the backup for the main event at 155. So I think Beneil Dariush is a lot to handle. What's his opponent ranked? Is his opponent even ranked? Matus, whatever his name is?
Gamrot?
Yeah. Is he fighting an unranked fighter?
Nah, Gamrot is ranked.
Matus Gamrot. What's he at?
Yeah,
Gamrot's sitting at 9, and
okay.
Beneil Dariush is sitting at 6.
Gosh. Yeah.
But Dariush is like off like a 7-fight win streak.
He's
He
really
hasn't
good.
lost in years. Like,
He's really good. I think he's kind of angry about being overlooked the way I overlook him all the time, because he's just not getting the respect he deserves, and he could be one of these dudes who pulls the fucking Glover Teixeira. You know,
that second
just
resurgence.
just like
That'd be insane.
and he never really went anywhere. He's just this guy who just kind of hangs around, and you know, he's not the most exciting guy on the mic. He wins though, so we'll see.
Why the hell does Dariush keep talking about being the backup for the
He's
for the
he's
fight?
wondering why he shouldn't be the backup, considering he's there at 155 pounds. Volkanovski's not even at that weight. That's what I was trying to hint at right there. So he's upset about that. He's like, why would you give a guy who's not even the weight class, who's not even fought? I'm on a 7-fight win streak. Why would you give him the backup when I'm here? Make somebody a backup for our fight.
And I've been
And
fighting.
then I'm fighting for the championship, because that makes way more sense than having Volkanovski, who's a 145 pounder.
When you have the belt that it makes you the number 1 contender. I don't like that either.
But
I
that's
think
just how
that
it
you should
is.
always have to at least fight the first ranked.
For sure, but we know this is the UFC doesn't play doesn't play right.
I
like
know
that.
it's about how to make the most money in the easiest swoop.
Yeah, and dropping Volkanovski in there is way better. You know, so but Neil,
I don't think it's bright though, because he gets hit by Oliveira, or he gets in like Oliveira gets his back, or like, come on, nah.
Well, I don't even think that he was cutting weight either. Like, I don't think Volkanovski's even prepared for the fight. Really, he's just kind of hanging out there.
He's just in the gym.
I don't think he thinks that anything's going to go wrong.
He got next though.
Yeah,
That's been announced. Yeah, he got next.
He does got next, but he wasn't cutting weight though this week, so which means Volkanovski probably is. I think Volkanovski doesn't walk around very heavy. I think he's got his weight under control. I bet he walks around 165 pounds.
We talked about that. We talked about.
I
that.
really do think he's like. I think he's tremendously.
He doesn't look like Khabib used to look.
He doesn't balloon up, man.
No, he doesn't blow up at all. He always stays like a really strong thumb.
I think this is the way.
He's Australian.
When we
bro.
talk about weight
He be
classes and
fighting
weight
hot
cutting,
back.
I think the future of the weight class weight thing is just to stay in shape all the time and not do that idiotic kind of like
We
what Patty
talk
does.
about that in the gym all the fucking time.
Well, look at Josie Aldo. Josie Aldo used to have a hard time making 145 pounds. He got a dietitian. If you just get in shape and you just mind yourself, you can stay within 10 pounds of your weight pretty much all the time. I think you should be able to do that.
Yes, as a professional in
absolutely.
anything, you should be able to
As
do
a
your
professional,
job.
let's be professionals here.
Absolutely.
And listen, if you want to be Patty Pimblett and get fat and like brag about it and do that whole trip, you could do that too, as long as you make weight. But it's not good for you. Really bad for you. But if you can handle it, and especially with Patty's got like 10 pounds of pizza on him, so that drops
Bro.
off right away.
Patty, if you're listening, stop doing this to yourself.
Patty needs to come. Patty needs to come and get some of these hands.
It's not funny anymore.
So what do we got here? So who do you got in that fight though? Who do you got, Coach?
So I've got Poland in this one, unfortunately. As much as I like Dariush, I think to your point, boring. He can grapple though. That's one thing I'll give him. So, but you
don't think he's elite?
I do think he's elite. I don't see him finishing via KO or TKO. And one thing I know about Eastern Europeans is they are hard as nails.
Yeah.
Now I know for you, Mace Hammertime, you can go over there. It doesn't really matter. You walk through all of them, but he is giving up.
Right. Listen, the reason why is because my DNA is everybody, so I'm part Eastern European. Yeah, I go anywhere. I'm pretty much everything. So it's like you don't have an advantage based on where you're from.
He has all the.
When you're
best
born,
genetics.
when you're raised in a test tube like I was in a laboratory, you come out pretty fucking amazing. And my adamantium skull and my adamantium plates are not fair either, but that's a whole different thing. And the claws, whatever. Anyway, so Gamrot, he's a Polish guy.
Yeah, I got Gamrot. I don't even know much about him. I'm just like speculating a few things.
I don't. Yeah.
based on travel too. I go back to the
We-
travel. I know
we-
it sounds
we
silly,
just-
but I think that's a big variable. And Darius is no rookie though, so he's like a vet. He knows how to handle himself.
He could win this. He could win it. He could. I see the only way I see Darius winning this fight is being a crafty old veteran who just outsmarts him for the win. I don't think he's going to beat him up
Which
though.
is
Yeah.
possible. Which is possible.
I can see him.
He could catch a submission too. He could catch him slipping, going
He
on
really-
a takedown.
no, that's
Got
the thing
good
about-
submissions.
Yeah, that's the thing about Darius is he's like surprisingly awesome.
The
Yeah.
thing is, like Gamrot, man, like he fought 4 or 5 times last year. Went to decision once, KO'd a few dudes, subbed a dude. Like, I don't think he's in there for play.
No,
And Darius goes to decision a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be a good fight, I think, as well. So I love this card, even the undercard things. There's a lot of good fights, but this is a pay-per-view main event that I'm like, all right, cool. And it doesn't
Mhm.
even have a heavyweight fight in it, which is surprising.
I really like the time difference when they go to Abu Dhabi too. I like
Yes.
watching fights during the day and
Well,
getting that shit over.
yeah. That's for the. I mean, we're going to
Yes.
be there. It'll be 8:00 for us. We're sitting ringside, but to the fans here, good for them. They can hang out in the afternoon like it's a football game. You just kick back and watch the game in the afternoon. Got
Yeah.
the rest of the day.
That's gonna be a really long day. We do some training for like a few hours early that morning, then we coach a few classes.
Yep.
We're opening a new gym on Monday, so it's
Yes,
we got a lot
sir.
happening.
Things are on the come up. Yes, things are
Woo.
on the come up. So what's fights coming up after? We got the Jan
Fucking
O'Malley.
Peter Yan and Sean O'Malley. Holy shit.
Okay.
It's happening.
Coach
I'm
Mike
excited.
looks like you've been raiding fucking Sean O'Malley's closet with that shirt.
O'Malley misses weight. He's too under, gets too nervous, shits his pants.
You think so?
And then he makes weight. That's the perfect comeback story.
I think he's gonna be like 122.
When he shits.
Yeah, he's gonna be like fucking scared as shit when he sees Peter. He's gonna start sweating. He's gonna shit
You
his
think
pants.
so?
He's
Deep
gonna
in
be
your heart,
underweight.
you think
First person
O'Malley's
ever.
scared of this fight?
I don't.
He should be.
I think he's worried. I think he's more worried than he's ever been.
Every fighter is worried.
No,
though.
he's not been worried up until this point. He's been beating the shit out of Eddie Wineland and guys. He knows he walks in there. He's way better than them. This is the first time he's ever walked into a fight, and I've seen it on Embedded where he's a little bit different. He's 100%
calm.
more serious.
He's not talking shit like that.
He's more serious.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
a good thing, though, right?
It's a good thing.
It is,
like,
but when you're trying to be a superstar and you have to dwindle yourself down, it shows a lot.
Oh,
and also
okay,
he
I
says,
feel you, I feel
like
you.
Sean O'Malley. Every time I think he's like, and listen, I think he's got a legitimate chance of winning this fight.
Me too.
Yeah,
more
same.
than I think he believes.
I think
he gonna
I
need to
think
believe that shit,
he's,
though.
he's gonna knock him out or sub Jan. I don't think Jan wins.
I think Jan is. I think
I've
Piotr
been
Jan
telling
is-
y'all since the fight got announced, some way, somehow, Jan is going to fumble this.
I think Jan had his chance to be a champion and he blew it. I think that does something psychologically to fighters. And he's taking this fight against O'Malley because I think he thinks he's going to be able to win it. But I think O'Malley is on the ascent of his career. PEDs or not, he's coming up. and so, but he's a really skilled fighter and he's at the prime of his life. He's 27, 28 years old now.
28.
Money,
Right now.
you know, yeah, money's not a thing for him. I don't think he's like so, but he says stupid shit like he's like the next Connor. I hate when people say that.
Right.
You're
Like, why would
limiting
you say
yourself.
that? If you have to say that, like you don't
You're
need to say
definitely
that.
not. Yeah.
Like there was one Conor McGregor, and I think that was a phenomenon that was needed at the time. But moving forward, I think that O'Malley, if he just O'Malley's and never says anything about being the next somebody, will be just fine. He just has to win and keep being himself because he's funny as fuck.
Yeah.
I think that he's got a good situation going on. He hasn't outgrown his camp yet with Welch. It seemed to be working, but once a big loss happens, like more than a Cheeto Vera, if he wins here and he goes on a run, he's going to be cemented as one of the best fighters of all time and one of the most marketable. So I don't think he has anything to worry about. Just keep winning.
He's lucky, man. He's blessed with like the height and size. Jan, I think I don't want to say in over his head.
He's pretty one-dimensional now.
He's the hard hitter that throws hooks and low kicks.
He's a shitty Muay Thai fighter.
Yeah. And
That's what it comes down to.
the
He can't
problem
wrestle.
is
There
he's
is
trying
a
to
video
strike.
of Volk fucking him up on the feet.
Yo, he's trying to strike with the dude that strikes 10 feet away from him. You know what I mean? He's gonna run into hard knees. He's gonna
And we
run
know,
into hard shots.
we know now that Jan can't wrestle.
Yeah.
We know
And
that.
and yo, like
And his boxing is whatever.
mentally, man, that had to fuck him up, knowing that he couldn't get out of this one single thing.
He couldn't get out of it.
For three, and he's in a 3-round fight now. He's gonna have to figure out O'Malley. He's gonna have to overcome the distance. He's gonna have to tough it out all only in 3 rounds. I don't know.
Oh, for sure. And homeboy Aljo is a beast of a backpack on people, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But he just that fight was him just like on his back, punching him in the back of the head the whole time, side of the head,
Laughing at him.
and he had no chance. He had nothing. They had nothing to answer for it. He couldn't get out of a body triangle.
I think in this fight he's gonna implement more like throws and takedowns on Sean.
I don't think he's going to be able to grab him. I think Sean O'Malley's going to piece him up from way outside and look. I think he's going to
do the outer defense where he just turns away from
only way
takedown.
only way Jan wins this fight is if he makes it dirty and puts pressure on O'Malley. If he lets O'Malley stay outside,
He's capable of doing that, but not in the first 2 rounds.
if O'Malley stays outside and plays his range game, he's going to fuck him up.
O'Malley knocks him out round 2.
He's going to fuck him up bad. I mean, like if it like from what I've seen from Piotr, which like he's a good fighter, but the hype train on him has left the building.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
who did he beat? He beat Uriah Faber in the last fight of his career. He lost to
Dodson.
Aljo. Listen, his best fight was when he was beating the shit out of Aljo the first time.
He beat Corey Sandhagen.
Oh, he did.
That was a good fight. That was one of the most technical fights I've ever seen.
After this fight, I think he fights Sandhagen again.
Oh,
yeah,
I would
that
love
could
it.
happen.
Can we please see that?
That could-
Actually, I hope he loses.
Yo, I'm excited. I'm excited for O'Malley Sandhagen. I don't know when it's gonna happen, but the 2 5'10", 135ers, 2 elite strikers.
Yeah.
Tough. Well, one of them's tough. The other one's a little soft. But
Corey gonna toughen him up.
Listen, I think if O'Malley wins and he fights for the title, he has a hard time with Aljo or TJ, though.
Absolutely. Everybody has a hard time with
Those
Aljo.
guys are a different animal. I think that the fact that they can really wrestle. You know, the thing about Aljo though is like how good is he at striking though? Because coach, you've trained with Aljo.
Yeah. I used to train at Serra-Longo back in the day, and I was with him when he was on the come up on the local scene. But here's the thing that's surprising or maybe it's not surprising to you guys. Obviously, grappling amazing, but his fundamentals in striking are, I think, strong to the point where it can be deceptive, and that can be a secret weapon where he can use that, especially like you said, he's going to be on your back. He's going to be able to grapple. He's going to be able to finish. But his ability, believe it or not, to finish fights with striking are there. I just think he defaults from a wrestling background, defaults to his comfort to that. But I would love to see him versus O'Malley, not only to be able to use his striking to get inside, because he could, believe it or not, piece him up, in my humble opinion, from my experience with him, getting inside. And then I would honestly see him, though, finishing it being a
We don't have humble opinions here, coach. We have expert opinions.
Yeah,
That's
you
a
just gotta
fact,
say
but
it.
my
Yeah,
expert-
bro.
Your expert opinion. So listen, so the one thing I remember about Aljo in his last fight though, and what he was really fucking Jan up was he does that MMA like
The
walk
hook
towards
into
you,
the- into
hook
the double.
into the double, hook into double, and then you fake the double, come back over the top.
yeah, the good old MMA striking.
Yes. Yeah, he does it really well though. But
Yeah.
you know, then again, like the intrigue with this is O'Malley knee up the middle on that because he's so tall and so long. This is why fighting is the greatest sport on earth.
Yes.
Because
Very
you just like you can't really, every fight is so unique to the individuals.
Yeah, because it's so human. Like there's no system when it comes to 2 people.
Totally.
Yes,
You know,
sir. I
um,
love the quotes today.
Yeah, bro. And like with like football, you can fit pieces to the puzzle. You know what I mean? You just need linemen. You
Yep.
just need like fucking these
Yes.
significant pieces, and you can piece a football team together. But with a fighter, when he gets hit and he's like, okay, I'm gonna just do what the fuck I want. You know, like
Well, yeah, there's standards in like in football. Let's say you have a whole team of guys that are 6'8", 200 versus guys that are 5'10", 200. That would be awesome, right? You don't see
Mhm.
that. Fighting, you see that.
Yeah,
You see massively weird situations like that guy's the same weight as that guy.
yeah.
Like, what the fuck is that? You got guys like Roy Nelson fighting against guys like Czech Congo. You're like, what?
And knocking
Like,
them the fuck
how is
out.
that even real? So it's the ultimate proving ground, and that's why it's so interesting, and that's why I'm like, bantamweight is the most interesting weight class right now in fighting,
for sure.
and in the fight, I got O'Malley winning. I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
I got Jan. I'm gonna be contrarian. I got Jan winning.
I mostly want O'Malley to keep winning so he keeps his undefeated record. Wink, wink. So he can actually maybe take up my challenge if he ever wants to take a real L. So you heard it here, Sean O'Malley. We give you a lot of shit with your stupid fucking haircut and your ugly choice and car colors.
God.
But
Stop picking that car.
That
Nice,
car's-
but nice money move with the pink wigs. Genius.
Yeah,
nice.
we know better.
Yeah. So anyway, I got O'Malley winning though. If O'Malley wins this, he goes on a run, I believe, and he dominates the bantamweight division for the next 2 or 3 years.
Oh, I think he wins this and then loses to Aljo.
I don't know. I think his confidence blows up after this. That's like this is.
I
This is
think that my thing is if when O'Malley starts to get his striking going, that's when Aljo's gonna shoot. Aljo's cool with taking a couple of shots and getting the timing right.
Yeah.
And I think the patience is what's going to help him because he's been there, because he understands that he's so much better of a grappler than O'Malley. Yes, O'Malley might have his purple or brown belt, whatever the fuck, but when he got elbowed by Cheeto Vera, he was a white belt.
He was a white belt real quick. Well, here's the thing.
That wouldn't have happened to me.
I will
personally.
tell you this. Well, I'll have a better idea of where O'Malley, how if he wins this weekend, how he wins tells us a lot.
Yes.
How about that?
Yes.
How he wins. If it's some bullshit fucking win where he just like, you're like, I'm not sure if that was convincing. If he goes out and he starches fucking dude, like beats him up really badly, then then my thoughts on him fighting Aljo will be vastly different. But I got O'Malley winning. I got O'Malley winning on this one.
Me as well.
Jan round 3 knockout.
But co-main event now. Now we're
main event.
co-main
of the
event. And
evening.
we have 2 bantamweight fights in a row.
In a
that are
row.
just
We're being
so
blessed.
important.
Like for
Aljo versus
Halloween.
TJ.
Aljamain Sterling versus TJ Dillashaw.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie here. I think Aljo makes pretty easy work of him.
Yeah.
I don't
Oh yeah,
think
he just takes him down and mauls him.
I think TJ's coming off a couple of knee surgeries, shoulder surgeries. He's older. We saw with Dominic Cruz, and his speed is just not, and he's still fast as fuck, but it's like we're talking milliseconds when it comes to the kind of footwork those guys do, how they make those changes, the weird crossing of feet, different things you're not supposed to do that you can get away with when you have really fast reflexes.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. That might actually set Aljo up for that head kick. Because he back step crosses his feet, it's gonna fuck up his footwork. And if TJ can time that cross to the body with the head kick as he's doing that, he might catch him.
So here's one thing I watched, and you're right about that, because that's one he's really slick about this. And one thing TJ does, he's really unorthodox hot round kicks.
Yes.
And it looks weird, but it's an angly thing that happens. You can throw it from short distance. He did a really cool detailed thing. You can watch it on YouTube or whatever, where he breaks down how he sets it up. So he does a switch. He does a switch kick coming off of southpaw where he does, or out of orthodox where he does a jab.
I call it a switch cross because you're switching stances.
Yeah,
into a
so he
cross.
does a jab. Hang on a second. He does a jab. He's waiting for you to parry. He does a jab down to the body, then a fake
and then
jab,
bring the
and
head
then,
kick
and
right
it comes
around.
around. That's his deal. He did it to Renan Barao probably 7 times in that fight, and it's a great little video. You can watch him on YouTube doing it. He breaks it down.
It's him, Robert Whitaker. They're the 2 that really do it a lot. But Aljo also do. I think it's a big wrestler thing because of the shot.
That level change,
that hand and that. Yes, exactly.
It's a really good MMA strike. It works
It's the
really
best
well.
MMA strike.
MMA, because you can go lower high with that kick too. You can also do it to the body.
Yes.
Or
and
to the
sneak it in
leg,
there.
or
So-
to the inside of the leg.
I think TJ's a competitor. I think TJ could win this fight. There's never any doubt that he could win it. I just think at this point Aljo's healthy, probably really at the pinnacle of his athletic career.
Yo, you see, like, bro, he's fucking chiseled.
He's funny how he talks about people that taking PEDs. I'm like, you look like the poster boy for PEDs. Like, you don't even look real, bro. You look like a superhero.
Yeah, he looks like an action figure.
He looks like, you know how like sometimes some guys get too big for MMA like that. You know what I mean? He's kind of one of those guys like, dude, you look like you're almost too big for MMA, but he makes it work because that's a lot of if you really think about it, Aljo, if Aljo wasn't that jacked, he'd be a 125 pounder easily.
Yeah.
You know, but he's super jacked. Probably walks around 155 pounds.
He'd be like
that.
a tall Manel Cape.
Dude, he's just,
wow.
but he's a good fighter. I think Aljo, it's going to take somebody really special to take out Aljo. TJ could do it because TJ's like that.
He is,
you know, and he's got the skills to do it. I just don't know if after being on the shelf, having a war with Sandhagen, that he blew out his ACL in the first minute of the fight, coming back from ACL surgery, not really fighting over the past few years, and the fact that he's had a lot of fights. TJ's been fighting for a while.
He's going into 5 rounds. That's no bueno.
Yeah, and I don't know if he's got it left in him anymore. And you know, TJ from 5 or 6 years ago was a motherfucker.
Yeah. I really want Aljo to make a run. Like I believe in Aljo. I don't know what it is, man. He dresses terribly, but like
he's the
that
motherfucker.
Master. He's the dude, bro. I don't know, man.
He's an all-around good fighter, and I think
he's a good dude, man. He's pretty fucking cool.
He's good. He's also learned how to do better mic talk. You know, he's like he's calmed himself down. I think that not everybody could be a silver tongue minstrel like myself, but it takes time, it takes effort, and
I think having his own podcast helped a lot. Because he didn't have to be too showy.
Well, it's hard, you know, and the thing about when you put a camera in somebody's face and ask them to talk, some people get deer in the headlights type thing and they start saying crazy shit. That's why
yeah, the reps.
They do. So he's got reps at it. It's no longer that weird. But Aljo wins. I think Aljo wins. I think TJ Dillashaw surprisingly, I don't know where does TJ go after this though?
PFL.
BKFC.
You play too much, bro.
He's gonna go
play too much.
No, he's gonna go rekindle the alpha male rivalry with Chad Mendes and BKFC.
I hope he doesn't go. He's the type to go to BKFC.
He really is.
I think he should fight Senchai.
Oh, that'd be awesome. I think TJ Dillashaw. What do we got here? 5 more minutes. Let's go with the main event. Oh, cool.
Mike, you have something to say?
Wait, I had a question. What happened to Cody Garbrandt? What about him versus Cody Garbrandt?
TJ Dillashaw
is Garbrandt out of the UFC yet?
I don't think Cody Garbrandt's gonna fight ever again.
He's not cut.
His chin just
should be cut.
Cody Garbrandt is currently writing an autobiography about how TJ Dillashaw on PD's ruined his life.
Yeah,
that's what he's writing right now.
Maybe him versus Cruz. I'm just thinking old school matchups. Like again, for that.
I don't think TJ's gonna be down for that.
He's too far gone, bro.
TJ versus Uriah Faber.
Uriah Faber's probably 200-pound meatball at this point.
Probably.
Bro, what?
Yeah.
That would be insane. I like what you
TJ.
I like where your head
I mean, they old as shit.
I like where your head at, but like
for fighting.
Yeah, TJ probably fights Dominic Cruz. That'd be awesome, actually.
That would be
the rematch.
That'd be a fun fight to watch. It's like, listen, if Aljo makes easy work of dude,
that's why
then we're gonna see him turn into more of a gatekeeper type guy. But I don't know if TJ Dillashaw's ego is gonna let him do that.
Yeah,
and I don't think it'll be easy work.
Go to PFL.
Well, I don't know how many. I'm sorry. What's that, Coach?
I don't think it's gonna be easy work. Like I think he's gonna give him a good first round, and then after that, it'll.
I mean, old fucking Henry Cejudo there fucking made easy work at TJ. Remember that?
That shit was crazy.
30 seconds.
Cejudo is fucking different, man.
I thought the flyweight division was over. I was like, damn, DJ is gone. No one's here anymore.
No,
Henry just did that shit, and I was like, well,
Henry did him dirty.
There we go.
So I have Aljo. I have Aljo winning out this, and I don't see. I wonder who's going to challenge Aljo after that. We got it.
It's going to be probably Marab. Oh wait, he can't fight Marab. They're teammates.
They're like tight.
O'Malley's fighting for the championship after he fights if he wins this fight.
So
it'll be O'Malley. But listen, as far as guys that are in that, I think if you're looking at guys down to the Umar, Yanez are both on the
two of my
up.
favorite right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I really like Yanez because I'm a big people that guy that likes boxing and striking.
His body shots
Yanez,
are
he be
legend.
hitting people fucking hard.
I love that guy. I love that guy. So yeah, bantamweight is so fun. So Aljo's going to be the winner of this one. I think TJ's going to have a real reckoning in his career after this.
Maybe they feed TJ to Marab after this.
Oh
Yeah,
I watched that.
There you go.
Revenge for what he did to Jose Aldo.
I'll text Sean Shelby the idea.
Bet.
Um,
Oh, now we're going. Oh wait, who do y'all have? I have Aljo.
Aljo.
Yeah, Aljo.
Aljo.
All right, now
All
moving on to the main event of the evening, lightweight
Oh,
fight. Charles Oliveira, the champion, versus Islam Makhachev.
this one is really difficult for me to call.
Nah.
This is going to be one of like
It's
I'm
difficult.
expecting this to be one of the greatest fights in UFC history.
Exactly.
This is difficult.
If it goes like, if it doesn't go past round 3, I'm gonna be mad. If it ends early, I'm gonna be upset.
Oliveira says round 1, so
I think
Oliveira is gonna. I really hope it goes.
I don't
really
know.
hope that doesn't happen.
I mean, Oliveira's got the right hair color,
yeah, bro. He
the
dyed his
championship hair color.
bro. He dyed his hair platinum
So-
blonde, bro. It might be over. I
Yeah.
don't know.
I mean, come on.
That gives him superpowers.
And so I don't know. I think Oliveira is at. I mean, we're talking about two guys that are pretty much meeting at their peak,
Yeah.
at their pinnacle, at their greatest power, at the height of their powers. Islam, he lost a long time ago. It's been a while. That's before they weren't even fucking. Were they on the Reebok contract when he got knocked out?
They were on the Reebok contract when he got.
So not that long ago. Anyway, gosh, I just don't. I don't know. I don't know what to say about this one other than let's have a good match. I think my heart's saying Charles has got the dog in him. I don't think that we've seen the dog in Islam at all, ever. He's never had a challenge. He either got knocked out or he just beat the shit out of somebody. I don't think Charles is the kind of guy that's going to just let you beat the shit out of him. He's no Dan Hooker. He's no Bobby Green, because they were talking. Like I was watching Anatomy of a Fighter. Shout out to Will Harris, great documentary he does.
Absolutely.
Harris, it's my homie.
yeah,
we got to talk about that.
It's great, but he, they were talking of, like, I think Javier Mendez was talking about how Islam has fought all these young, awesome fighters in the lightweight division. I was like, who? He beat up Bobby Green. He beat up fucking at a catch weight. He beat up Dan Hooker on like 2 weeks notice or a week notice. This is going to be real for him. This is going to be the first time. This is like when Hamzat fought Gilbert Burns.
yeah.
This is the first real fight for him. So we shall see how,
If he is who he
if
really
he
says
is who he says he is.
You know,
'Cause
it's really fucking crazy, man, because like they're both going, they both want it to be on the ground. Like, and in the end, like in their, like at the very end, when it's all said and done, they both want to be on the fucking ground.
it's going to be a wild fight, dude.
Oh man.
So do you think
Oliveira
because
by KO.
so do you think that because of the fact they're both so good on the ground, they're going to stay up? Because
Well, I think that Islam is gonna fake the shot and he's gonna strike, and then Oliveira is gonna take him down and try to choke him out.
Islam should not try to strike with Charles.
I don't think you should either.
That's a very bad
what,
idea.
I mean, but that's what we talked about last week, where Gaethje thought he could strike with him. Gaethje thought, sorry, I was relaxing. Gaethje thought he could fucking strike with them, and he wouldn't go to the ground with them. I think that's a mistake. I think Islam won't be afraid to go to the ground. I think Islam will. I think Islam is competent enough to handle himself on the ground. I'm looking forward to the chess match that we're going to see on Saturday.
Oh man.
I don't think Islam can drop him.
Oh, I think anybody with hands can drop Oliveira.
Islam doesn't have hands. I'm sorry.
Well, no, like he has fingers. Like that's enough.
Yeah.
He's gotten dropped by like every opponent he's ever had.
What? Okay, but
Other
what would
than
Islam
fucking-
throw to drop him though? Like,
A hook, just an easy like 1, 2, 3. Take the 2 to the body, make him like think it's a shot.
hey, Charles got full 100% vision now, so I think
That's a
you know-
damn fucking lie. That is a
What,
bro.
he got
You
some-
can
he got
see
some-
how thick his
He
glasses
got some
are to a
LASIK surgery.
Yeah,
TV
he
screen.
did. No, like deadass, he did get surgery. He said he
Did he?
100. Yeah, he's 100% now.
Oh fuck, bro. I don't think
What if
that
it
guy
makes
got a
it? What if
chance,
it makes it
man.
worse? He gets
I
like,
don't
it's like
think
he's
that's
like,
gonna make it
wait, I
worse."
never saw what this is like in reality.
No, wait.
He's used to
I
fighting.
thought about that, and like he's been like this happened months ago. I'm presuming.
He's used to fighting blobs. It's not even scary. Now he's like, that guy's muscly. I don't know what's happening here.
Yeah, he starts
That guy's
acting
arms fucking
Oh,
huge.
he's mad at me. I never thought he's mad at me in the fight. He's making
I thought we
angry
were
faces.
cool like
Yeah, I thought we were
20
buddies.
seconds ago.
So yeah, I got Oliveira winning.
Yeah, same.
He seems confident.
They're both
They're both very
they're both
confident.
uber
Bro,
confident.
I haven't seen Islam say shit. It's all everybody else speaking for Islam. Like,
That's
let's
true.
be honest.
That's true. But
Yeah,
he's
it's that pressure building though. He got Khabib and everybody telling him, "Hey, bro, this is your belt, bro." And now he's in a position where like, damn, I gotta earn this.
You don't want to know something? I think there's way more pressure on Islam than there is on Charles.
1000%.
Yes,
I think the
absolutely.
pressure on
Charles doesn't care. He's lost already.
he's already been the champion too.
For
He's
3
already been the
times.
champion. And I think he's going to be looser, more confident. I think the weight of the Abdulmanap shadow is heavy upon Islam, and I think that's a lot for him to carry around. I think he's doing it well, but that's a lot. I think Charles is in the zone.
He's fighting free, bro.
So anyway, we're going to be flying on the G6 this week. Coach Mike, you want to shout out your social medias?
Whoop, whoop. Thanks,
What's
y'all.
your
Yeah, hold on. Let me drop this. It's going to be Life of a Fighter everywhere, lifestyle of fitness, all that good stuff. I'll give you guys a screen share one more time, and let us roll out of here. So we got that. You go to the link tree. We got our $2,000 giveaway. We got can kick butt, take names, and then we got all the Instagrams, Twitters, all that fun stuff. Putting out stuff on the daily.
Let's do it. So we got Life of a Fighter. Coach Mike, join us today. What's our handles?
Mace Hammertime MMA on Instagram, Mace Hammertime on Twitter, and then on YouTube, Mace Hammertime MMA.
Shout out to subscriber 42 and 43. We're making waves, setting records. Fastest podcast in history to 43 subscribers. The Mace Hammertime MMA Power Hour Show. 500 Hammer Time out.
Ow.